right now, I am pleased to welcome a man whose career I've been tracking for about 7 years now. You political humor enthusiasts will know him as one half of the Red State Update team. Have produced some extremely funny videos, some great albums, and they do a weekly podcast that is now 80 episodes strong. He's also a member of the Nashville/LA theatrical rock band Holtzclaw. I say theatrical rock because it's they're not easy to label or peg. Maybe we can get him to give us the proper adjectives over the course of the talk. Without further ado, Travis Harmon, welcome to Sound Awake, sir. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you very much for having me. All of that sounds good. Everything you described, that can go on the official website.
Excellent.
Everything you said.
Oh, I love being blurbed. It's what I live for. You take, when you're an unpaid volunteer DJ, you take whatever glory you can grab. Let's talk about. Well, we mentioned theatrical rock. That's basically it's maybe not the most apt description of Holtzclaw in its current incarnation. Let's talk about the early days of the band when everybody lived in the same town and were able to play live.
Oh, goodness. We don't remember much of those days. There's some video footage that helps us remind, and sadly some recorded. There's a few things you can purchase out there from that era. Which,
two demo collections, I believe.
I believe so. That's what's left over from those days. We were known primarily for being a live show at that time and played all over Murfreesboro and Nashville, Tennessee. But we were young and having probably too much fun, and I think our audience was probably having too much fun. So what's left of us is probably, hopefully, still enjoying ourselves. But we lost a few members since then who have gone on. It sounds like I just said they're dead. Some of them might be, but I wasn't meaning to imply that.
Whereabouts are unknown.
Yes, exactly. That's best. That best sums it up.
Right. So currently, the core of the band is you and your longtime musical cohort, William Sherry Jr., aka
We're
Blue.
Still around. Yeah, we're still breathing air. We can get in touch with one another. So that's it. He's also, as you mentioned, Red State Update. He is the music part of that. As well. So
it's like the unseen third member.
That's exactly
unseen,
right.
But not unheard.
That's right. Holtzclaw, we both try to stay unseen, but we're making an exception for you today.
Oh, well, I do appreciate that. A peek behind the Holtzclaw curtain. Now, let's talk about the current setup. You are in Los Angeles.
I am.
And Blue he resides in Nashville.
He does.
And he does, he's a professional demo musician. Does he do session work? Does he play out? Is it just, I know about his demo service.
He's got his own little studio, and why leave? So I think he's kind of holed up in there. He does a lot of work for other people. He does, a demo guy, and occasionally will do dumb stuff with me. So I'm fortunate for that. But thanks to technology, we no longer have to be in the same room. I'm sure we both have reasons that we appreciate that all these years later. But, so we just kind of go back and forth and put stuff together, and when we both kind of agree on it, send it out there for everybody.
Yeah, which happened last year with the release of, I guess, like the first official cohesive Holtzclaw album. Is that...
I would say in 13 years, I believe, yes.
Excellent. Yeah, the album we will refer to as Chili Room for FCC purposes. The full title is a bit salty, and I do have to. It's sort of a minefield with this album. I mean, I love the record. It was my favorite album of 2013. I stand by that. There are some things that I cannot play at all, and there are a few things that I've had to run through Cool Edit Pro to
not too radio friendly.
It's not, but anytime I consider that a challenge. Oh, not radio friendly? We'll see about that. Because it gives me that angle. You know, most like other shows will think, oh, okay, not radio friendly. We're not going to touch that. That'll give me an exclusive. Okay, I'm just going to reverse this part here, cut this line out completely. Okay, I've got an exclusive hit here on Soundwave.
Artistic merit, sir. And it is meant to offend, by God, and I don't appreciate that.
Well,
Blue might, but not me.
If I may, sir, I look upon it as a gateway. Somebody might hear that sanitized for radio version of the song and go, that was pretty catchy. What else do they have? Oh, my. And before you know it...
Blue's credit, now I want to give him, to his credit, they all, I can admit and agree with you that it is all very catchy. To its detriment, which is the part that I'm responsible for, will offend most people. So I take credit for that. I want to give Blue the good credit. I do the words in there, or a lot of them, and they're not proper words. I'll just say it right now. I was raised to believe that the words that I use are not proper.
And you've succeeded. The Harmon family legacy lives strong. I think it's kind of ironic that the man named Blue keeps it clean in within the frame of Holtzclaw.
He manages. I don't know how he gets off scot-free. I don't know how he gets away with it, but he does a good job, and I screw it up. Basically, that's how it works.
And the result, the most recent Holtzclaw album, Chili Room, which we're going to hear a few cuts from, and we've also got a demo from the forthcoming 2014 Holtzclaw release that we'll listen to a little later.
Untitled as of yet.
Untitled as of yet. Oh, I smell a contest.
Something you can't say on the radio. With George Carlin, how many words are there? It's going to want to be one of those words. Will be the title of it.
At first, it was 7, and then I think he expanded it to 10. And then I remember, I think it might have been Carlin on campus. He just came out with like a notebook. Here's the other words that I've discovered in my travels. So we're going to raid the George Carlin diaries for the title of the next Holtzclaw release. Right now, I want to play one of the tunes. There are a couple of little minute long interlude songs on this record, which are quite tasty.
There's a few of those. Yes. Yeah. That's just us being lazy. Like this is a song. This is enough. We don't need to keep writing this.
Yeah, well, so that's good. That's the Eno approach. That's why you got all those little like on Another Green World, and especially music for films. You've got like these ideas, like a minute and a half, and that's all you need basically. If you fleshed it out, it would get boring. It would lose its flavor, but it keeps its snap when you keep it brief.
Well, the album's too long as it is anyway, so we did that as a favor to the listeners. So.
All the same, I'm guessing that Blue has at least a replica copy of the Oblique Strategies box somewhere in his studio in
He turns to that for inspiration on a regular basis.
Yeah, and it shows. Well, the tune that I've got queued up is one of those interludes from Holtzclaw's Chili Room, and this tune is called 11 Makes 10. Which reminds me a bit. The first time I heard it reminded me very much of They Might Be Giants of the early records. Speaking of another band that would maybe give you like a song that was a minute long and still that was enough.
Yeah.
So would you cite them as an influence in any way? I mean, they do.
Absolutely. Well, I would say more on Blue is a big fan. I'm a fan as well. Of course, they're great. Stuff we were listening to that we have been thrown into that sound or what. I mean, They Might Be Giants. Ween is another band we're very fond of, who are no longer together, unfortunately. And
but what a legacy!
Yeah, great band. In that area, we break Zappa. We watched 200 Motels when we were young. I don't know where we are now, but these are things we aspired to be at a young age. Right now, it's just, let's put it out there. Let's see.
Aspiring to hang with Flo and Eddie in Centerville.
Yeah,
it's a great place to raise your kids up. I've been led to understand. Let's go ahead and hear this. I know I've played this on the show before to refresh everybody's memory from Chili Room. ... Here is Holtzclaw. 11 Makes 10. Travis Harmon of Holtzclaw, my guest today on Soundwave, KPFT Houston, 90.1 FM.
11 makes 10. 11 makes 10. 11 makes 10. 21 minus 11 makes 10. 21
11 makes 10. That is music from Holtzclaw, the album Chili Room, ellipsis, available online. Travis Harmon, lead vocalist, lyricist, and all-around swell guy of Holtzclaw, is my first phone guest today on Soundawake. KPFT Houston, 90.1 FM. Jeffrey Thames, King of Grief, your host and DJ until 3 o'clock. Stay tuned. Paul Robb of Information Society joining me at 2. Now, I have a question about 11 makes 10, and this is discovery. I just made this discovery last week, and I'm kind of, I'm somewhat ashamed that I didn't pick up on it a little more immediately. And I know Blue wrote the song, so he might be the one to ask. But I'm going to ask you anyway.
He wrote that. You were able to play that on the radio. He wrote that one, see?
I see.
Works.
So anything that I haven't had to edit is a creation of Mr. William Sherry Jr.
I may have helped. I'm an old softy in my old age, so there may be a few on there that you could play that I did.
All right. Now here's my question, and we might have to posit this to Blue. Do you know if that's a reference to Thomas Dolby's "She Blinded Me with Science" at the very end?
Wow, I do not know that.
Pick that up.
I'm going to say probably not, because he didn't mention that to me. But that's I didn't think about that.
If you listen to the last 4 notes of the little xylophone, but if you hear them in your head as like just continuous notes, na 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 na. So I had it. It was in my head. I'm like, it kind of sounds like "She Blinded Me with Science," and then he yells "math" at the end, which is a school subject, very much like science. So I thought he was like channeling Thomas Dolby and Magnus Pike on that. So that just goes to show you. Yes, exactly. I think we might have hit on a guess maybe a Blue Easter egg in that track. So.
If I remember correctly, he had a dream that somehow involved Penn and Teller, and they were explaining math to him. That is what I remember that coming from, vaguely, at one time. And then he didn't want, it was going to go, I liked it, he didn't want it to go on the album, and then I talked him into it, like, no, this is good. And so there it is. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you did.
That's all I remember about that particular track, besides it being lovely to listen to.
Indeed it is. Again, the new Holtzclaw album, Chili Room, available only as a digital download, but maybe someday if finances do fall into place, we will see at least maybe a CD version. But I know you do want to have that issued on vinyl one day.
It would be a double record on vinyl. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, and which is someday. And I know that you have similar aspirations for the Red State Update Christmas album, which gets a workout every year when the season rolls around here on Soundawake.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
No, and
that I think would be a box set. That's what we're hoping for the future. With because there's some other singles we have done. It would be that album, some singles, and then of course a DVD with all the music videos. That's going to be someday like a big somebody you love for Christmas. You know what to get them. It's going to be a big giant box set, very expensive.
I think little Jen's going to start saving tomorrow. Well, it's going to be half for it'll be half for her as much as it is for me. The Travis Harmon universe is prevalent home at the Castle of Grief. For those of you who are just joining us, it's 27 minutes after 1 o'clock. I'm Jeffrey Thames, King of Grief. You're listening to Soundawake on KPFT Houston 90.1 FM, and I've got on the line Travis Harmon of Holtzclaw and Red State Update. Man stays very busy and stays very funny, which is most important. I want to play another cut from Holtzclaw's Chili Room, another one of the interludes, for lack of a better term, and this one is McDougal Street, which never fails to make me giggle. Now, is this okay? Now, I have to say, you do the vocals on this, and the resemblance is uncanny. Okay,
Jonathan Shockley is who I work with a Red State Update. For those who don't know, he pretty much works whatever I do. He's got a hand in it. But this one was meant to be a full song, and then we got lazy. Like, that's enough. We don't need to write any more of this. And that's how that came about.
Was it I guess the effect, was that always going to be part of it, or you just went, okay, this is what we've got?
That's the magic of Blue. And I know you said William Sherry Jr. We refer to him as Blue. That's
where did he get that nickname?
I have no idea. He came with it. It came before. I don't know.
Family
never
name?
bothered to ask him.
Like, did his parents want a hound dog and they got him instead, or?
Probably. That sounds about right. No, he always had that. I think it's his pretty blue eyes, actually. But he always had that nickname. So when I say Blue, it's William Sherry Jr. And Jonathan is just Jonathan. I don't have a nickname for him. His parents.
We will think of one.
Barely referred to him as Jonathan, let alone came up with a nickname. So
excellent.
It's Jonathan and Blue. We got it all settled now. So
excellent. Well, we will talk about your work with Mr. Jonathan Shockley in Red State Update and beyond a little later on in the hour. Right now, here is another track from Holtzclaw's Chili Room. 46 seconds of goodness, McDougal Street. Your Sound Awake on KPFT Houston 90.1 FM.
Woodstock got too crowded, filled up with looky-loos. You move your family to New York City when you ain't got much to lose. But the people, they keep coming. It ain't like they're blind. This is the kind of city where you can't hide nothing everybody wants to find. So you build that wall higher, more brick and concrete. Gotta get something between Bob Dylan and the folks on McDougal Street. Hotel McDougal Street. Hotel McDougal Street. It's the McDougal Street.
McDougal Street from Holtzclaw, the album Chili Room. Music and lyrics, at least for the most part, by Jonathan Shockley. Did he write the entire thing? Oh, there you are. He usually
throws me some lyrics occasionally, or he likes to give me titles a lot of the time. So he says. He doesn't like to bother writing it, but he likes to give me titles for songs. Example, Sixth Heaven. He likes to write that up. And then I kind of go away, and he also punches in here and there. But that one came to me as kind of a title, and it was kind of started, and again, laziness set in, and this is enough. I don't need to write any more of this. So that's how that song came about.
But again, it's perfect as it is. It gets the point across.
I think so. I think it worked. I made the right decision, I think.
Yeah.
Laziness it comes in handy.
Yeah.
A lot of the times.
Yeah. So does Jonathan have, I don't want to say a beef, but I don't know. It almost sounds like he's calling Dylan out for, I guess, for putting himself above the people that he supposedly represents in song. I mean, I know there were some accusations.
I think that's just what happened. That's just kind of. I don't think he's calling him out. Because if the people are breaking into your house and going through your stuff, I don't blame him for moving and putting the wall up.
No. What was the guy's name? A.J. Weberman?
Particular time, he was up at Woodstock, and the hippies were coming in his house and going through his fridge or whatever, and he moved to McDougal Street, and I believe put up a wall that there were some legal troubles with or whatnot. I think so. So that's where that came from.
Wow, that could almost be a concept album. That's like something, it either needs to be a 46-second song or a full-blown concept album.
And if I have to make that choice, it's always going to be 46 seconds. And when it comes down to me, I'll go with the concept. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So, if I can convey it in 46 seconds, I think I'm a better artist. So
it could be done, the three of you together. I can foresee that. And
I just called myself an artist. Play that again for everyone. Did they just hear that?
Yeah, we have it. We do have it. I've got it recorded. Travis Harmon declares himself an artist.
Yeah.
If you wish to differ,
play McDougal Street. Right after.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we should mention that if you want more information about Holtzclaw, they do have a Facebook page. You spell it Holtzclaw, Holtzclaw, and you've got a SoundCloud page with some of the older demos that can be
yes, there's some old stuff and new stuff on there. Yeah.
And some of the new stuff as well, the things that I cannot get away with playing, much to my chagrin. Now, we've got a song. I've got a song queued up. This is a demo from the I guess the Holtzclaw album in process, the progress, the 2014 record that does not yet have a name. This track is called Mr. Sexy Socks.
This is Mr. Sexy Socks. This, again, we thought people might, I kind of put it up and threw it out there, and it's kind of exclusive to you, Jeffrey, just for you and your listeners.
We appreciate
maybe
that.
Perhaps people would enjoy to see the journey that a Holtzclaw song takes to get to completion. And here's an example. It's not quite there yet.
Right.
Brand new.
Yeah. So what we hear is basically the embryo, the germination of the final product that we do, and we have no idea what the final product will. Even like you or Blue don't know at this point. So this is something.
At this point, no.
We're taking.
It may be exactly this. We may be lazy and like, this is good enough, but perhaps not. The journey could be complete. It could go on for months and months. Who's to say?
Yeah, it could be this. You could build a concept album around this. You decide. You could work it into the McDougal Street rock opera.
I think Mr. Sexy Socks was one of the hippies that broke into Dylan's Woodstock.
There you go. See, the storyline is taking place. Excellent. Well, this is it. You're witnessing the creation of art. And remember, birth is not always pretty. Here is the demo of Mr. Sexy Socks. Brand new exclusive music from Holtzclaw on Soundwake, KPFT Houston, 90.1 FM.
Oh, Mr. Sexy Socks. Oh, Mr. Sexy Socks. Oh, Mr. Sexy Socks. Oh, Mr. Sexy Socks. Sexy Socks. Oh, Mr. Sexy Socks. His force can be oh, Mr. Sexy Socks. His heart is yours, my friend. Oh, Mr. Sexy Socks. His force can be oh, Mr. Sexy Socks. Sexy Socks. I've been sick a long while. I've been sick a long Mr. Sexy Socks. Oh, Mr. Sexy Socks. Oh, Mr. Sexy Socks.
Mr. Sexy Socks, a new demo from Holtzclaw to be found most likely on their 2014 release, which is officially in progress and will be out sometime later this year. It's 1:36.
Did I mention earlier that I was an artist?
Yes, you did, sir.
I just wanted to make sure.
I was about to mention that again for those of you just tuning in. I'm Jeffrey Thames, King of Grief. This is Soundwake on KPFT Houston, 90.1 FM, and I'm having a lovely phone chat with the artist, Travis Harmon. Now, sir,
want to make sure that that's coming across in this interview.
Yeah,
that I am an artist. I just want to make sure
we've decided we have determined you are an artist. I think this forthcoming Holtzclaw album will decide whether or not you are an artiste.
Okay.
There is a difference. It's almost intangible. It's like you know it when you sense it, but it's not something that you can actually reach out and touch.
I don't really
you're on
think
the
that I
cusp.
need to keep saying that I'm an artist. Is if you play something like Mr. Sexy Socks, it's self-evident. But just for those who may not be sure, I just want everyone to understand that this is art.
And you're hearing it right here on Soundwake, every single drop of it. KPFT 90.1 FM, kpft.org. Tell your friends they can listen online. I'm about 23 minutes away from interviewing Paul Robb of Information Society. Busy day here on the show, and I'm loving every bit of it. Now, I want to talk about some of the vocals on Mr. Sexy Socks. It sounds like you're dropping into a very familiar range for your vocals. It almost sounds like there is a cameo appearance by Mr. Jackie Broles.
Really?
On that track. A bit rappy.
I guess if you go
I've been sick a
gravelly,
long time. And that sounds like a line he would use, because he's like, seems like every other week on the podcast he's ailing from something or another. We should mention that for those of you, most of you might know, Travis, you might not recognize the voice because he puts himself through a serious permutation for this. But his most popular creation, or celebrated, touted, however you will, is that of Jackie Broles, one half of the political satire team Red State Update. And I'm going to let you talk briefly about the history of Red State Update, both the actual history and the fictitious history inside the Canada itself.
It was another case of Jonathan coming up with a great name and filling. I remember he had the name Red State Update, and this is like we had been in LA for a little while and had moved, as far as moving out here, and from that point developing characters which are kind of, he and I are both from, he is from Highland, Tennessee, and I am from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where these characters are from. And they're kind of a combination of a lot of folks we knew, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that the character of Jackie Broles, that was like somewhat based on an actual, like in the universe of Red State Update, Jackie Broles runs a convenience store that also sells barbecue, and that was based on an actual. Was it called Jackie's Market, or was it like the owner his name was Jackie?
Goff's Market. The owner was Jackie Goff. Unfortunately, he recently passed away, and the Goff's Market no longer exists anymore. But it was a place where you would sit around, drink beer, and listen to amazing stories. It was, and good barbecue as well. So probably snuck a few beers at an age I shouldn't have when I first started going there, and was pretty much a regular until we moved away. Yeah. But a lot of great folks went there to eat. A lot of great folks worked there, and it was quite the place.
Excellent. So you were basically, it sounds like you were like more in line with Jonathan's character, Dunlap, because you hear it tells
at that time perhaps I was, yeah, because
he every once in a while he'll tell stories about like going over to Jackie's Market and like stealing a couple of beers and trying to get all the rednecks in the store to watch Twin Peaks, and we like
to say sneak instead of steal, but basically the same thing. Yeah. You're right, but yeah, it was kind of like I was more of the Dunlap character in that regard, growing up around that place, and didn't quite have the relationship with Jackie Goff that Dunlap has with Jackie Broles, but it was a wealth of material being in that environment. It was a strange place. We did, and I think some of this exists somewhere on YouTube, when Jonathan and I first, our first, I guess, thing that we made, I won't say artistic endeavor, I will say thing that we made, was you can't use art and cable access ever at the same time. So this is before I was an artist.
You came close. You did come close. I will concede.
I did. But this is long before I was an artist, Jeffrey. He and I did a cable access show that had some of these characters from Goff's Market on there. And that got us, that was like the first thing, well, maybe we should move. It kind of became a cult thing. It got passed around. We were talking to people, I believe, in New York and Los Angeles. I guess we need to move to one of these places. So eventually we got around to it. But that's something we did back in Tennessee. I think we did 6 episodes, and they just kept running them over and over forever. But I think some of that exists on YouTube. It was the very originally named Travis and Jonathan Show,
which can be found. You can check all of everything that Travis Harmon and Jonathan Shockley has done. They have a YouTube channel. Just look for Travis and Jonathan, A-N-D. And not only can you see the old cable access bits and some of the Red State Update classics, but there are some other I remember the first thing that I ever saw. The first thing that you and Jonathan did that I saw that was not related to Red State Update was your expose of Rick Rubin and Ray Stevens in the studio together, which that just got to me on so many levels, just like knowing the history of both of those men and how much of it you actually you worked into it. The attention to detail was superb. So I knew I was if not necessarily artist, I knew that I was dealing with some mental giants here. So I commend you for that. I know if you go to the Facebook page for Sound Awake, facebook.com/Sound Awake Radio, you will see I did post the clip for the Rick Rubin and Ray Stevens video, and also something you did a few years ago that I've gotten some mileage out of this, knowing book people or I guess I should say book snobs. Twilight Time. The Twilight tribute band that knows nothing about Twilight. Whether or not you are a fan of that franchise, you will find reason to giggle at that sketch. So that's up on
the second greatest thing that came of the Rick Rubin Ray Stevens video, besides garnering your attention. The second greatest thing was Andy Chernoff from the Dictators saw that. He was the bass player in the great punk band, the Dictators, saw that video and was attempting to contact us to work on a music video for his latest EP. And, of course, we didn't realize that's who it was when he kept writing us, this is a joke, da-da-da. And so we finally responded, and we had a great time working with someone who we're a fan of, and we kind of developed a music video with him over the phone, and he was kind enough to fly us out to New York to shoot it. And the name of that song is Let's Get the Band Back Together. So search that out. Yeah. Andy's awesome. He's Mr. Chernoff, I should say. That
is a fun song, a fun video, and I will post that to the Facebook page later. I've got so many links to share with everyone about the amazing things this man has accomplished. We've got about 15 minutes left in the hour. Don't forget, 2 o'clock, I'll be talking to Paul Robb of Information Society, who are coming to town this Saturday.
Who do you think, I'm sorry to interrupt you, who do you think will call themselves an artist the most of these two interviews? I'm just curious.
I'm not sure. I think...
he deserves it. I'll go ahead and call him an artist. I didn't mean anything weird about that. I'm just curious who's going to call it out for.
I think Paul's a little more maybe more comfortable in his role as an artist. I'm guessing you've got that hesitation. I don't know if it's I'm not worthy of this and everything. But it's like you need. It sounds like you still need that external validation to get the internal validation stoked. So I'm here to tell you, sir, you are an artist.
If I just keep saying it, I am an artist, like my mantra.
Yes. And you'll become one with the universe, and everybody will flock around to touch the hem of your garment, which you do in L.A. I mean, I know that's you just anyhow. And anyway, you basically you mentioned, we talked about this on the phone a couple of weeks ago, but you consider L.A. home now, as much as you do miss certain aspects of Murfreesboro. L.A. feels like more of your sort of environment.
I think L.A. is more suitable for an artist to live in. First off. Number two, no, I've just been here for 10 years and met so many great people. Well, it's been over 10 years now. It's 11 or 12. I'm not good with math. But it's just,
11 makes 10.
Here now. I still go home once a year and see the family and friends and love Tennessee. I grew most of my adult life up in Nashville, which is one of the greatest places anyone could ever go. So if I were to go back to Tennessee, I would be more than happy to live in Nashville. It's an awesome city. But it's just kind of home now. I'm out here, and my partner, Adrienne Rose, she's doing wonderful out here. She moved out here. She has a career in puppetry and is quite talented. And she's doing great, so I can't see why...
Do you consider her the artist of the couple?
I do. I don't know if she's comfortable with that.
It's like the two of you have to work out. Maybe you could be like the artist in shifts. You feel like being the artist today? Okay, I'll take it. She's
actually a real artist. She like saws and glues and paints and sews. Like I just kind of make weird noises in a microphone. So I'll give it up to her. She's
excellent.
She can do that
and
stuff.
she does appear on the Holtzclaw record.
She's a very talented musician as well. Yes, she was kind enough to lend her vocals. I don't know if she wants anyone else to know that, but no one's listening, are they? Not too many people, are they? That sounded wrong.
I can tell you at least maybe 50 people are listening online right now.
We'll see. Well, who knows?
Everybody that bought that first Red State Update album, they're tuned in right now.
She was kind enough to lend her talent for that. Yes, absolutely. She actually didn't play drums on this, but she's an amazing drummer. And she's been in a few bands herself over the years. But I'm not going to plug those because this is about me today.
She can send me a promo package if she wants.
She can get an interview on here. You can watch one of her videos on YouTube and, invite her on.
Something else to post. There's going to be a lot of activity on the Facebook page later. I can guarantee that. Well, we're going to play. I think I'm going to try to work in 2 more songs before the hour is up. We're going to wrap up the interview here. I wanted to play a tune from the Holtzclaw album, Chili Room. The song is called Justin Bieber Does Not Want That Baby Monkey, and this is the only concession to that really base celebrity culture that's going on right now. This is the only concession of that you will hear on Sound Awake. There is a young woman on this record contributing a guitar and vocal by the name of Sunny War, and I would like you to tell everybody about Sunny and what she does and how she does it.
Well, now we're getting to the real artist stuff here. No, she is an amazing talent. If you have any inkling to the blues, if you like the blues, you want to hear, check out this young lady. She's an amazing talent. She's slumming with us guys, but thank goodness she did. Sunny War, I think she got a Facebook page. Go on YouTube, type in Sunny War, SUNNYWAR, and watch this young lady play guitar and sing.
Yeah, I listened to her new album. I cannot remember the name of it offhand, but I did listen to it last night, and it is phenomenal.
She just put out a new EP. Is it an album or EP?
I can't remember. I think there were maybe 9 tracks on it. Some of them might have been live, so it might have been like an EP with bonus cuts.
Right.
We'll have to find out.
Yeah, super. She's opened up for Keb Mo on tour. She tours South America a lot. She's just kind of bubbling right there, about to blow up. So go check her out and love her before everybody else does. She's amazing. And she was kind enough to see my connection to her. She happens to be my stepdaughter, but that goes without saying. Of course, I'm partial, but she's amazingly talented. She's a grown-up lady all on her own. When I say stepdaughter, it makes it sound like she's this toddler around here, but that's not the case, no.
No, especially not with a guitar in her hands. If you consider yourself a core KPFT listener, as far as like our the music that KPFT is best known for over the decades, you will enjoy Sunny War, and you're going to hear her right now. Not necessarily in her natural habitat, but the artistry shines through, and that goes for everybody involved.
She's still good filtered through this crap.
Yeah, you can't keep her down no matter how you try.
That's right.
But right. In any case, it's a fantastic song, very catchy. It'll get stuck in your head for weeks, months on end, and I can bear witness to that. Once again, the new Holtzclaw album, Chili Room ... can be found online. Look for Holtzclaw, HOLTZCLAW on Facebook and SoundCloud, and the old-timey down-home country Red State Update podcast in them. I might have gotten the title slightly wrong. You can subscribe to that.
You did better than I could, I want to say right now.
Yeah, that's why you let Blue do the intro.
Our podcast that long.
But
people ask me, I'm like, I don't know. I can't remember the name
you can download. Just do a search for Red State Update on iTunes and Stitcher Radio, which is a very fun app. And we'll hear more from this gentleman and his cohorts as the years progress. Travis Harmon, thank you very much for talking to us today on Sound Awake. It is much appreciated.
Any opportunity I have to share my artistry.
Using those words again. See, we had a breakthrough. Travis acknowledges that he's an artist, and I help facilitate that. So yay me. We will talk at you again, sir. Thank you very much for
Thank you for having me. Great being on here. Thanks, Jeff.
It's anytime. It was a pleasure. Once again, this is Holtzclaw with guest vocalist and guitarist Sonny Ward. Justin Bieber does not want that baby monkey. Your Sound Awake on KPFT Houston, 90.1 FM.
Justin's monkey Mally, all alone in Germany. Not a matter of substance or grave urgency. Justin travels abroad and gets applause. Monkey sits in a cage. A lost cause. Justin Bieber does not want that baby monkey. Justin Bieber does not. Justin Bieber does not
why it was
want that baby monkey.
Monkey don't speak
Justin Bieber
don't understand
does not
why it was
want that baby monkey. In exile with zero purpose, not even in the sea, not even in the circus. Justin is rude and breaks at it. This monkey's love is such a matter. Justin Bieber does not want that baby monkey. Justin Bieber does not want that baby monkey.
Monkey don't speak
Justin Bieber does not
why it was abandoned.
Want that baby monkey.
Monkey don't speak
Justin Bieber does not want that baby monkey. 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 Justin, what about the baby? Want that baby monkey? Baby monkey.
Kitty, would you like some mouth kisses? Right between your whiskers and right under your nose. You may not know much about kisses, so bring your sweet face closer and I'll show you how it goes. First things first, a proper kiss requires a good attitude. So don't bite or scratch or hiss now, kitty, that would be quite rude. Secondly, relax your mouth and get them whiskers out the way. Use your rough tongue at your leisure, with or without is okay.
Kitty, did you like your mouth kisses? Right between your whiskers and right under your nose. Now that you know how to give kisses, where it goes from here, sweet kitty, Jesus only knows.
Kitty, would you like some mouth kisses? That's another track from Holtzclaw from the album Chilly Room. Ellipsis that you can find online. You can stream it on Spotify. I believe it's up on Beats Music as well. Any of the other the other streaming sites, you can check that out, and you can also get more information from their pages on Facebook, SoundCloud, and CD Baby as well. Holtzclaw, Holtzclaw. That was preceded by Justin Bieber Does Not Want That Baby Monkey with a guest appearance from Sunny War, and you will hear her again on this show and this station in the I guess probably in the months to come. My thanks again to Mr. Travis Harmon for calling today from sunny Los Angeles and giving us a piece of his mind. More Holtzclaw and Red State Update can be found online. Just go to YouTube, look up Travis and Jonathan, and check out some of their other sketches as well. Very funny stuff. Very funny man. Cannot wait. Someday I will hang with him in person, and it's just going to be a wonderful thing. Jeffrey Thames, King of Grief, with you. It's about a minute before 2 o'clock in today's Classic Club Hour. I will have another phone guest for the CCH. Paul Robb of Information Society will be calling me any second now. They're playing Houston this Saturday over at Red Velvet on Bel Air Boulevard. We'll talk to him and hear their brand new single, Land of the Blind, and we'll hear some more In Soch classics as well. It's coming up in just about 2 minutes from now. Do stay tuned. KPFT Houston, kpft.org.